Did you know that the average person has over 6,000 thoughts every single day? What's even more surprising is that a large chunk of these thoughts can be negative, dragging us down without us even noticing. But here's the good news. You have the power to change this. Welcome to a journey unlike any other. A journey to reprogram your mind for positive thinking. It's not just about slapping a happy face on every situation. It's about transforming the way you see and interact with the world, one thought at a time. In this series, we'll uncover the secrets to identifying those sneaky negative thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with a mindset that leads to happiness and success. We'll learn from athletes who visualize their victories before they happen, and from people who've turned gratitude into a daily habit, reaping the mental and physical benefits. But that's not all. We'll dive into the science behind why we tend to focus on the negative and discover practical, everyday strategies to surround ourselves with positivity. Imagine waking up each day feeling empowered, motivated, and optimistic about what lies ahead. Ready to embark on this life-changing adventure? Let's turn the page and start the journey to a happier, more positive you. Chapter 1. Identify negative thought patterns. Imagine you're on a treasure hunt, but instead of looking for gold, you're on a quest to find and understand the negative thoughts that often cloud your mind. It's a bit like being a detective in your own mental landscape. Did you know that, on average, humans have about 6,000 thoughts per day? A significant portion of these can be negative, especially if we're going through tough times. The first step in transforming your mindset is to recognize these uninvited guests. Start by keeping a journal. It doesn't have to be fancy, a simple notebook will do. Every time a negative thought pops up, jot it down. This act alone can be incredibly eye-opening. You'll begin to notice patterns. Maybe you're often hard on yourself, or perhaps worry is your constant companion. Why do this? Because awareness is half the battle. A study found that people who write down their thoughts and feelings are better able to understand and manage them. It's like mapping out a maze from above. Suddenly, you can see the way out. And here's a fun fact to keep you motivated. Did you know that Leonardo da Vinci kept journals full of his ideas, observations, and thoughts? If it worked for a genius like him, imagine what it could do for you. Remember, the goal here is not to judge yourself or feel bad about these thoughts. Instead, think of yourself as a curious observer, interested in understanding more about your own mind. By identifying these patterns, you're setting the stage for a remarkable transformation. Chapter 2. Challenge negative thoughts. Now that you've identified the negative thoughts, it's time to challenge them. This is where you turn from being a detective to becoming a lawyer, examining the evidence for and against these thoughts. It's a fascinating process because you'll often find that these thoughts are not as solid as they seem. For instance, if you often think, "I'm not good at anything," ask yourself, is that really true? Look for evidence to the contrary. Maybe you're a great listener, a talented cook, or a caring friend. Highlighting these contradictions is powerful. Research suggests that challenging negative thoughts can significantly reduce anxiety and depression. A useful strategy here is the "but" technique. Whenever a negative thought arises, counter it with a positive statement, followed by "but." For example, "I'm not good at public speaking, but I'm excellent at one-on-one conversations." This method acknowledges your feelings while also pointing out your strengths. Did you know that the human brain has a tendency called the negativity bias? This means we're more likely to remember negative experiences over positive ones. It's an ancient survival mechanism. But in modern times, it's often more helpful to focus on the positive. That's what you're doing when you challenge your negative thoughts. Remember, this process takes time and practice. It's like building a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it becomes. And here's an encouraging quote to keep you going: "The mind is everything. What you think, you become," said Buddha. By challenging your negative thoughts, you're on your way to becoming a more positive, resilient version of yourself. This approach, filled with relatable analogies, practical strategies, and interesting facts, is designed to make the concept of reprogramming your mind for positive thinking both engaging and accessible. Chapter 3. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Now, let's get creative. You've identified the unwanted guests in your mind, and you've started questioning their presence. It's time to replace them with thoughts that serve you better. Imagine your mind as a garden. For every weed, negative thought, you pull out, you plant a flower, positive thought, in its place. Here's a simple yet effective strategy, the flip the script technique. Every time a negative thought arises, flip it into a positive one. If you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never get this right," pause and flip it to, I'm improving each time I try. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Neuroscience shows that this practice can actually rewire your brain over time, strengthening pathways associated with positive thinking. A fun fact to inspire you. Did you know that the brain's plasticity allows it to change and adapt throughout your life? This means that with consistent effort, you can literally change the way your brain works. Positive thinking isn't just feel-good advice, it's a physical change in your brain. Another strategy is the 3 good things exercise. Every night, write down 3 good things that happened during the day. They can be as small as enjoyed a delicious cup of coffee, or as big as finished a project at work. This practice trains your brain to look for the positive, counteracting its natural negativity bias. Remember, this change doesn't happen overnight. It's like planting a garden. It takes time for the flowers to grow. But with persistence, your garden will bloom. A quote from the Dalai Lama captures this beautifully. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Chapter 4. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the water and sunlight for your garden of positive thoughts. It's a simple yet profound practice that can transform your outlook on life. By focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift your attention away from what you lack to the abundance that exists in your life. Start a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. This practice doesn't just make you feel good in the moment, it changes the way you see the world. Studies have found that people who practice gratitude regularly have better mental health, are more resilient, and feel happier overall. An interesting piece of data. A study published in the Journal of Psychology found that practicing gratitude can even improve your sleep. It seems that counting blessings really can be more effective than counting sheep. Don't know where to start? Begin with the basics. Are you grateful for your health, a roof over your head, or the food on your table? Or perhaps for a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a song that made you smile? Gratitude can be found in the smallest of moments. And for those days when finding something to be grateful for feels impossible, remember this quote by Oprah Winfrey: "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." Gratitude is a powerful tool for creating a positive, abundant mindset. In weaving together these strategies with conversational language, engaging facts, and motivational quotes, this article aims to make the concepts of positive thinking and gratitude both accessible and inspiring. Remember, the journey to reprogramming your mind for positive thinking is a gradual one, filled with small, daily steps that lead to big changes. Chapter 5. Visualize success. Have you ever pictured yourself achieving your biggest dreams? Visualization is not just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that athletes, entrepreneurs, and successful individuals use to enhance performance and achieve their goals. By visualizing your success, you're mentally preparing for it, making it feel more attainable. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to close your eyes and vividly imagine achieving your goals. Picture the scene in as much detail as possible. What you're wearing, who's with you, what you're feeling. This practice can increase motivation and confidence. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology found that athletes who used visualization techniques showed significant improvements in their performance. Here's an interesting fact. The brain doesn't distinguish much between real and imagined experiences. This means that visualizing success can stimulate the same neural pathways as actual success. So, by regularly imagining positive outcomes, you're priming your brain to pursue those very outcomes. Another strategy is to create a vision board. Fill it with images and words that represent your goals and dreams. Seeing these visual representations daily can reinforce your commitment and belief in your ability to achieve them. Remember, visualization is not about unrealistic expectations or magic solutions. It's about empowering yourself to take the necessary steps toward your goals. As Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps once said, "If you want to be the best, you have to do things that other people aren't willing to do." Visualization is one of those things. Chapter 6. Surround yourself with positivity. The people around us and the environment we inhabit have a profound impact on our mindset and behavior. Surrounding yourself with positivity is like planting your garden in fertile soil. It gives your positive thoughts the best chance to grow. Make an effort to spend time with people who uplift and encourage you. Positive social interactions can boost your mood and outlook on life. According to a study published in the American Journal of Public Health, social support is significantly linked to better mental health outcomes. But it's not just about who you spend time with, it's also about what you consume. Be mindful of the media you engage with: books, TV shows, social media. Are they feeding your mind positivity or dragging it down? Opt for content that inspires and motivates you. Your physical environment matters too. Create a space that reflects the positivity you want to cultivate. This could mean decluttering, adding plants or pictures that make you happy, or simply organizing your space in a way that brings you peace. And finally, remember the power of giving back. Helping others can create a positive feedback loop that not only benefits those you help but also boosts your own mood and outlook. As Winston Churchill famously said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Engaging in acts of kindness and generosity can be a powerful way to surround yourself with positivity. By embracing these strategies and incorporating them into your daily life, you're not just reprogramming your mind for positive thinking, you're also building a lifestyle that supports and nurtures that positive mindset. Remember, the journey towards a more positive outlook is a continuous one, filled with small, meaningful actions that, over time, can lead to significant changes in how you think and feel.